See if anything in a thing of all.
No, not none of them.
All right. Gregory Clark. I can start back with Gregory Clark and not Jazzy Jack, right? She can sit on the island.
Straight.
So what do I say, Mrs. Meadows, Mrs. King, Mrs.
Don't trouble, don't trouble. That's true.
Okay, time has climbed up to 25 minutes after the 9 o'clock hour, and I'd like to say good morning to all those who had a wonderful time yesterday at Jubilee Park, and the parade was exceptionally good. I can't talk about it this morning. I'll do that a little later because the Jubilee season is still on, alright? So, definitely I can talk about it. Give you a chance, maybe on Monday, to tell us on telephone what you liked about the Jubilee celebrations yesterday, or what you didn't like. We're going to take it in a balanced way. But this morning, at this point in time, we've got an exclusive for about 25 minutes with Andy Meadas-king, who is going to be sponsoring this period exclusively, and this is a man who has appeared in the program many times, but always wanted some more time to talk about what he's going to do for athletics in Guyana. We know what he's been doing already with that classic that has been running for the past 2 years, and definitely will be back in November for classic number 3. But we'd like to hear from him, and he's here this morning. He's also walked with the little champ. That's his daughter Keisha. She appeared in the program too before, and she's doing so well with times in the United States of America. And the smallest of them all is here too, and I know that she will become an athlete as well. So Andy, welcome to the program. She's already an athlete, alright? How are you, my dear? Back on the program. You're a regular now, you know. You'll host this program for me one morning. Yeah, very. Keisha, welcome home, my dear. Alright? And congratulations, all that you've been doing. I know one day you'll be standing on the podium with the flag behind you. That's what I'm sure you intend to do. Am I correct? Wonderful. Okay, Andy, so, yes.
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to say hello to Guyana again. I'm here once again to talk about some of the issues. Time is under constraint, so, let me get into some of the things fast. One of the things I want to really talk about is the grounds, the state of the grounds. Right now, we're in the qualification mode for the Olympics, like my daughter, for the Junior Olympics, and she's here right now, so every morning we get up and we try to go to some grounds to actually to get some work. But then it's sad to see that when you turn up at the grounds, the state that the grounds are in. You see what I'm saying to you? So I'm trying to find out whether the minister of sports or the director of sports have ever actually been around to these grounds, because it's like we want Olympians, but then we don't have proper grounds. Now the grounds are the tools for the athletes.
That's right.
It's like you want somebody to build a house, and then you don't have no saw, you don't have no hammer. You understand what I'm saying? Because, for instance, like another thing too, the grounds are not marked. So I don't know how these coaches actually do their workout and the ground is not marked. You understand what I'm saying to you, right? There is no marking on the ground. Like I cannot even do a 50 meter. I cannot do 30 meter start. I mean, these grounds have no mark. And that's a sad state, because I went to Enmore ground, right? I checked the Buxton ground. I mean, I went to Golden Grove ground where my brother and Owen Adonis and Toya for the past couple of years have been spending their own money to develop the ground. The Golden Grove ground. The put up their own floodlights. Everything that they do on the ground is their own personal money from their pocket, their investment. So I just want to reach out to them, to the people out there, and let them know what's going on. Because and right now as we speak, I'm also in collaboration with a Paradise, because that's my community. I want to develop that ground, and there's a lot of things that I would like to do there. I drop off a truckload of sand there for them to fill up certain spot, because maybe the ground is in a dire state. That's one of the reasons why I do this program, and this is one of the reasons like some of the stuff that I'm doing, it goes towards the benefit in the community. Now that we have a local government election, and we know who the community representatives are, now what the people need to do is bomb-base that representative. Then he's going to bomb-base the RDC or RDO or whoever, the regional democratic, you understand what I'm saying? And then they will forward it to the parliamentarian or whatever the case may be. Now we have legit representation now, so then we can get the thing done. Now, you cannot want Olympians and then you don't have a proper ground. No, I couldn't have my daughter risk injuring herself going through paces on that ground. You understand what I'm saying to you? Then they have, no disrespect to the farmers, but they have the cows and the sheep and things grazing on the same ground that athletes have to be on. So that is terrible.
Yeah, well, before you move to the next part, I want to add my bit here too. We can boast of having a synthetic track for the first time, even though we're way behind time, because we should have had an all-weather track a long time ago. We do have that now, but that's not all. That couldn't be all.
Well, I want to add to that. I want to add to that. Last year, I've invited. I spoke with Glenn Mills, right, and for Boston Jeffrey track meet, we happened to work out to get some of the athletes from Jamaica to come down to compete at Boston Jeffrey track meet. Unfortunately, they were on the heats, but then for the finals it was rain. So then the Jamaican athletes couldn't really do anything, right? They couldn't run. Now that is bad for Guyana, right? Now for this meet coming up, Boston Jeffrey meet, right? Now he's looking also to other international athletes. Now these athletes, how these athletes is going to come when we don't have proper things? So like for Linden, that should get us a synthetic track just to host the Boston Jeffrey.
Definitely.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Now we need synthetic track in every community. Not every village, but at least we have one significant community. Exactly. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, right? Like Golden Grove ground there, that should have an all-weather track, because there's a lot of activity that goes on at Golden Grove ground, BV ground, Pleasance ground. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Those are significant ground. You see what I'm saying? One central in Georgetown. You know what I mean? So we could talk about we want Olympians and all of these things, but if we don't have the tools,
we have to think big.
You understand what I'm saying, right? You know what I mean? We gotta stop thinking about you know what I mean, just talking this talk.
You train all year round on a grass track.
Exactly.
And then you have to go run
on a synthetic track. Exactly. But then not only that, we don't have no marking on the ground. There's no marking on the ground. So then how are you gonna know your splits?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? How do you know where you are? So I mean, I don't want no bars, right, who want to be offended by what I'm saying, but if we want to talk development, we have to have the right things in place.
Okay. Well, I want to say one thing, and please don't look, well, every time we talk about this, I always say, please don't think that I'm defending the administration.
No, I'm not saying that.
The administration is a new one.
Yeah, I get that.
We've got persons, excuse me, I'm sorry, in charge who have been talking about really good development from outside of the authority. Now that they are in an authoritative position, we have to see them act.
Yes.
And that is what we want to see them do now.
That's exactly.
All right. So the onus is on them now to get their act together. To put these systems in place.
Definitely.
Let's move.
Yeah. Another thing I want to talk about is like the athletes. Now, while we were developing the mind of the athletes, there is some principle I want to instill in the athletes, right? Now, there's certain criteria and certain things that you have to do, and the reason why I'm saying that there's the only way to success. One is being obedient to your parents and your teachers. Two, you gotta pray, right? You understand what I'm saying to you? We need to pray every day. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody say. I try that, right? It never works. To be successful, there are certain principles that you have to follow. Yeah. And if an athlete don't be discipline, you won't see the true you won't see the true potential of the athlete. If you don't pray, then you can't. When the difficult times come, you won't be able to climb clear those barriers.
But let me tell you why I think prayer is also an integral part of what comes out of you. It is like if you might be a naturally born athlete, footballer, cricketer, track. If you do not train upon that natural ability, it is going to go to waste.
That's right.
So
that's
that is
right.
how prayer falls in too. If you don't add a little bit of thanks to the Almighty, then
because let me tell you something. I can tell you this: if I didn't listen to my parents, I would have never been here. It's either two places I would have been. It's either there or not. That's a fact. Because don't listen to your parents, because I've seen a lot of people what have happened to them. You understand what I'm saying to you, right? Right? What have happened to them in a lot of ways and so on. Right? And you know me, it's not nice. You know. No, as like for instance, for my road race, right? Some people have come on board recently, like the water situation. I have a family that said, listen, what you're doing, I got a water this year. That's a good thing. Fly Jamaica initiated me that, listen, we want to come on board because of what you're doing. You understand what I'm saying to you? I tried Caribbean Airlines. You know me, they're taking a little while to come on board. I've had a lot of support also in America and so on and so on. But some of my colleagues that came on for the jury that was here recently, there is a lot of people that want to come home and do stuff. Some of them haven't come for years, but thank God for the Golden Jubilee, a lot of them come back home to see what's going on. Yeah. Now, I can say that there was a lot of changes from the last time I was here to Georgetown. Georgetown, there is a change. You see what I'm saying to you? A big change. A massive change. Yes. That's a good thing. Yes. You see what I'm saying to you? So that's one thing of encouraging people to come back home and so on. I mean, they're doing sort of job. But when we talk about sports, we got to talk about all of the things that affected sports. Now, for instance, like the school system, we need to change the way our nationals work. That need to change. There is no way we can move forward with our athletes if that national system don't change.
Now, let's get a little bit deeper here, because I would like to understand what are some of the changes you're talking about.
Okay.
I myself was a national athlete. I've been part of it for years in school, and I know no other way. It will be interesting to hear what are your thoughts.
Okay, now one of the way our nationals have to change is because nationals need to be run in a more symbolic way of like how Jamaica have their champs, right? I mean, I'm not saying we're going to copy from Jamaica, but we need to find a way that we can run it. Now, you cannot wait until one time every year to have these athletes running a race, and then after that, there's nothing more. That system needs to go. Secondly, right, we need to have competition for the kids. We need to have nationals run at a time when the athletes are preparing for college. You can't have nationals running in November when there's nothing in November.
I think that they made that switch some time ago. I think they did that, and for whatever reason, it probably didn't work out, and then it was put back. That is as far as I can remember. But I know that there were some people who were advocating for that switch closer to the time, and for instance, straight on to the next event.
For instance, what I'm saying now is that like for instance, we have the athletes them, right, need to be prepared for bigness. They have to have this big mind. You understand what I'm saying to you, right?
You're saying, I know your train of thought has been broken because of that.
Yeah.
But you're saying that the national event must run straight into another significant event,
yes,
so that you can get to perhaps the topmost.
Exactly, right.
Okay. So that the time
yes, to
switch around.
Switch around, exactly. Okay. And also, what also we have, right? We have a problem with our athletes. Like after, like for instance, I train my daughter, right? And we have, like for instance, like coming up, we have the Junior Olympics trials coming up, right? Now we had so much meat running up to the Junior Olympics. You understand what I'm saying to you? And everything corresponds. You understand what I'm saying to you, right? And to prepare an athlete, you gotta understand that what is the main goal. Now, we have a lot of talent here. Like I watch the kids in Grenada, right? We need more athlete, more competition that span over X amount of days because our athletes are not used to the days and days and days of running. They get burned out because their system is not like I work with some of our athletes when they come overseas. The warm-up session. My daughter warm up longer than them. They don't warm up. So if you don't warm up properly, you can never be explosive. Because your heart rate is not up, your lungs is not open. You see what I'm saying?
That depends a whole great lot into what has been put into them by the coach.
Exactly. But I've worked with some coach, and the coach trying to instill in the athletes the importance of warming up. You understand what I'm saying to you, right? But the kids them don't want to warm up that long. Like I remember a couple of athletes came to America and said, when I see they warm up, I said, that's your warm up. What is that?
Well, you're lucky you've seen some warm up. Because I remember some time ago I had passed, there was it wasn't the national track championships. It was one of the, maybe I think it was in the schools or something like that. And I saw some athletes at the starting point waiting for a race, and some of them were standing with their hands folded, waiting for the starter's instructions. And I said to the person who was with me in the car, look, they're going to run a race. It is obvious that they didn't know that they were supposed to be keeping themselves warm, which means that they probably were not told that. Or they were just plucked out like that and say, go run, So yes, I do agree. There are a lot of things that we need to streamline before, and if we're thinking seriously of producing the really good ones coming out of that, we gotta change.
Another thing I would like to also know is the athletes getting fun to go overseas and run. That's one of our biggest problems. My recommendation is this, right? We know about the budgetary money, right? No, this is my suggestion, and if I'm wrong, you tell me. The sports committee should do something like a credit card, like the credit card, right? So to the AAG or the Olympic or whatever, Olympic or whatever. So when athletes need to go overseas, you can go to any airline. Now there is X amount of funds attached to the credit card. So whenever an event comes up and athletes need to go, they just go with a credit card to the airline and purchase a ticket. Now what that does is give you a track record of how this money is being spent. So with that now, right, and I think that the government should do that for almost every sports fraternity, the RDCs, whatever that, so that if we say we're developing this ground, don't just allot the cash to them there and have it lying there. Do a credit card system that they go with this credit card if they gotta get materials or whatever. Now if they have to pay workers now, what happens now is that they go to whatever bank. You understand what I'm saying? And the people, so you will always have a track record of exactly what happened. So you won't have this auditing, fraud, and all of these things that is going on because money was allotted and people did the own thing because they have the cash, the funds ready. Your credit card system. So if 20 athletes need to go to Carifta game, they just the AAG set up everything. Once everything is in order, then the AAG goes with the credit card to Caribbean Airlines or Fly Jamaica and use the credit card. So then they show that this is what so much money that was allotted to the AAG was spent.
So we're talking about two things here. We're talking about cash being readily available.
That's right.
And we're talking about accountability.
That's right.
All right. Because what we've noticed over the years, and since in my days, when an important event, let's say Whitsuntide Games in Grenada or Hampton Games in Trinidad, you have to go as an athlete around with a sheet begging arms. Yes. And only recently I saw that and I couldn't understand.
No, but listen, but I call you and call other people to contribute to some of the Kids Go Caribbean. No, talking about Hampton Games, I'm one of the sponsors for Hampton Games this year. The reason why, because I'm getting frustrated with this country of doing certain things. So I just say, you know what, let me go to Trinidad and assist Hampton, the Hampton Games, right? Talk to Mr. Highland, my daughter run there already, and he would welcome the sponsorship. So I do all the trophies for all the under 12, under 10, under 9, all the kids' trophies. I donated them to Hampton Games because the sports department in this country is not taking me serious. And if you're not taking me serious, I'm serious about sports development. If you don't, then I'll go other places and that is serious about developing the kids. I'll definitely do that. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I know how you feel, Andy, but I know your ultimate goal is to help Guyanese.
That's exactly. But then there is Guyanese athletes in Trinidad also.
Oh, so you're talking about assisting the Guyanese in Trinidad?
Yeah, because people are serious about Trinidad. I was wondering
how could I have the nexus here?
No,
being in Trinidad and assisting the Guyanese.
That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? Because here it's frustrating because people are not taking me serious. Now I spend my personal
life. Let me tell you this, that I don't disagree with you, because if I'm talking about way back when, look, if I should use myself as an example, when I represented Guyana at the Hampton Games in 1980, it was at the last minute. Money was accrued for me to go, and that should not have happened. Sometimes an athlete is told that he or she might be representing their country at this games coming up in 3-4 months, and then within 2 weeks you're not too sure if you're going.
Exactly, because there's no money, and I don't want to say, I don't care about administration. You're supposed to, your budget. Whenever you do your budget, you're supposed to allot money to these regular associations to get sort of things in place for these athletes. You know, how you want an Olympian? Everybody talking, oh, we want an Olympian, we want this, we want that, and then the infrastructure is not in place. Right? You understand what I'm saying to you? Yeah. I look at it because overseas, I'm well involved in sports. In Japan, there isn't no, like for instance, they just concluded pen relays. I've been lobbying for athletes to go to the pen relays. Right? Now, that's the team from Fort Wellington going to do it. Now, you know how much work I've put into that? I wasn't responsible for that team. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not taking credit for that team. I was not personally responsible for that team, and I elaborated it. I was not personally responsible. But what I did, I've been talking with the Pen Relays boards of directors for years of trying to allow a Guyanese team to run at Pen Relays for the first time. I tried to work with some teams from Linden to get them to go to the Pen Relays, but communication was bad. The people that talked with the Fort Wellington, they were more organized, but this is what happened. Let me tell you what the Pen Relay thing is. You gotta submit the names to the board of directors a certain time ahead and the time that they go. So it's not something that's readily done. But this is what happened. I think this is my personal view. I could be wrong, but this is my personal view. That when the team approached the sports the sports fraternity, they never really think they would have gotten their visa. But what happened is that after I'm in contact with them and I explained to them how the system in Guyana works, just like with the New Balance International Games with the committee, how I explained to them how the system works in Guyana. Once these athletes got to come to America, they have to submit the recommendations or the invitation to the American embassy for these teams that are registered. That's why you have to register ahead of time and put all the information in so that the directors for these meets will forward the necessary documents to the United States Embassy. So when you approach the embassy now, they already have a database of listening. Yes, they're legit. These people submitted, they're expecting you so that these athletes can get their visa. That's what happened. But because of the people behind the sports, they don't understand how some of these meets go overseas. They don't even get the context how complex it is. So when these people went to the American embassy, the school name were already there. So it was they just go uplift and travel. You understand what I'm saying? But they never expect them to get a visa. So when they approach them, because I speak to people that was directly involved with it, they never expect them to. So when they came back now and said, listen, we want X amount of money, that's when other people have to come into play. But I sat down and I watched that boys' team won their heat. And my wife, my daughter, everybody was happy. For the first time, see Guyana at the pen relays. You see what I'm saying to you? Now, what a board of directors asked me to do, and again, the president of the Athletic Association, R.B. Hudson, was next to me with that in New York recently. They said, listen, whenever you go to Guyana, go around to the schools, get their information, their coach, their principal, whatever. Get it to us. We'll put it in a database. So whenever this school now if this other schools want to come up from Guyana to take part in the pen relays, they won't have to be like how they were, miscommunication, this, that. So let me do it early. So one of my thing here I'm trying to do, if I have the time, because I come down to do some other stuff, is go around to some of the schools, get their information, so I can submit it into the directors of the pen relays, so that other teams from Guyana can come up. But it's a complex thing. I've got athletes to come to the New Balance International. That happens before curriculum. Athletes should come to that in order to test out what they're doing with their coaches, to know what time they're running before they go to the course. The Jamaican athlete does that. They use every meet to prepare them for curriculum. That's why they do so well. We don't. We don't know whether we have a problem with starts, whether we have a problem with our dry phase, whatever. They can work with that. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I don't really want to take over the whole show, but I mean, I'll limit that.
Well, I know when I get my signal for the final 5 minutes, I'll have patience, because I know you've got a whole lot of things.
But I mean, but I have plans for, but I have plans for, you know what I mean, my road race this year. Okay, before I go, I bring it right here. I want everybody to see. You understand what I'm saying? Before the time goes on and so on and so on and so on. Now, these are some of the trophies. As you can see, it's right here in the plastic bag. You know what I mean? Because time is something that runs out very, very fast. Right? These are some of the trophies that is already here for my road race. So, and it's in November, right? And we're in May now, right?
Yes.
So I brought them.
Well, November is just next door.
I know that. But this is what happened. This is what happened. The good thing about this is what happened. Right?
Lovely.
Some of the money that was left over from last year's sponsorship, right? I was able to use that money to buy these things ahead of time. So no donation that I get, I don't use for myself. It goes straight to this. That's why I'm trying to see if I can get a fund set up so that like regular people who want to make donations can make donation. We can do
you don't have to take that out.
Right. We can do a King Medas, Bradshaw, account, fund, whatever the case may be, so that people, because what I would like to do is from that funds, right, also help us, like this year, help us some of the artists that want to go overseas that may not have all the money and so on, so that fund can go toward that. That's things what I would like to do.
Yeah, well, that I would love to see indeed, because we want to say that a Guyana team is going to be representing at, well, I love to say Hampton Games International or with some type. And when you say that, you know it's going to happen, because you know the money is there already.
That's right.
To send the team.
Exactly.
Because there is this fund.
That's right.
Why didn't this happen before? Lord in heaven knows. And I've got my personal views about that, but I wouldn't go into that right now. All right, I still have got my grievances with the authority, with the local Amateur Athletic Association. I mean, you made a point about the president. I believe the president is a waste of time, but that's my point of view.
I get that.
But I'm saying that we want to put things in place now.
Yes,
there is an opportunity
to
do things differently now.
Definitely.
And with your input, Andy, because I know you're very, very passionate about your Guyanese athletes.
I'm looking for Olympia.
Yes.
My goal is I'm looking for Olympia.
It's time we
I'm looking for Olympia.
Yeah, it's time we
one of the
representation.
Yes. Another thing now is that everybody's looking at individual goals. Right? Sometimes, and I guarantee we can get a medal at the Olympics or World Championship through a relay. I'm telling you that. Okay. And I believe that. That's my belief.
I think we can.
We can medal because the onus of relay is to get the baton around.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, since we've got just about 2 to 3 minutes remaining, I just would love to hear from Keisha here. Keisha, you've been doing so well. Again, I commend you. I want you to tell me about how you feel about the times you've been making now. You've been improving, not gradually, but rapidly. Tell me about it, Keisha.
Well, if it wasn't for my dad, I wouldn't have made it anywhere. He pushes me and hopes. This is why I'm here today. This is why I'm able to support Guyana in whatever I need to do in sports and track and field. And I can represent Guyana anywhere. Anywhere in the world when I run. So, but we still need more people, not just me, but other people around in Guyana to help us. So, like how the Jamaicans are known, I can barely see a Guyana flag anywhere. Let us make Guyana's flag be everywhere in the world so we can see that, yes, we have shown that we can support a country that everybody knows that Guyana is a country that can help and that can do anything.
Wonderful, wonderful. I've seen photographs. If your dad did send me photographs on WhatsApp with you on the podium, how do you feel at the moment when you're there receiving your prize, either for third or second, I know you've received first many times at various events, but how do you feel, particularly when you think that this is going back to Guyana and other people will see that I am indeed representing Guyana? How do you feel at that moment? Could you tell me?
Well, I felt proud, very proud, because people can see that I'm here and that not just me, but we can help Guyana and show that, yes, we are here, like what I said before.
Yes, yes. Okay. Well, I want to wish you all the best. It is not just that you're doing what you know you can do, but you know what you want to do, and that's important. And when you put the two together, you're getting a complete character, and that's what you want. I want to one day open the papers, or in fact, your dad is going to send the news and everything to me before, to see you standing tall at number one in your category. And the thing about it is that you run with bigger persons than yourself. You run with bigger athletes, and you do really very well. So that signals to me that pretty soon we'll be hearing your name all over the place, all over the world, as a champion. I want you to keep respecting your dad and your mom, all right, and your coach. Well, your dad is your coach, but there might be a time when someone else might be called in to coach you.
That's true.
Because
That's
of the development.
That's
all right.
That's true.
So I want you to keep that respect flowing, and I just love your positive attitude. Just keep it up, right, Keisha? Wonderful, like it. Andy, we've run out of time.
Yes, I know. Time is too short. You know me.
All right.
But I hope that Guyana get the message of what I would like to do. And I'm working at Paradise Ground. I want to develop the ground. I want to develop the community. I want to, if possible, get a team from out of Paradise housing scheme. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to work with the schools. I'm trying to do so many things. You know what I mean? But I can't do it alone. You know what I mean? But whatever little I get that I can contribute, that's what I'm going to contribute. But I'm already looking for Olympians. You see what I'm saying to you? And I'm not dependent on no government or nobody to do this. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to do my manhunt and search for the people that I want to do. If the government want to come on board, it's okay with me, but they need to develop the ground. Because I couldn't even do cases with my dad. Because the ground is terrible.
Yeah, the thing that I like about you is that you prepared to go it alone, even if you have to do
it alone. That's it.
And you just keep saying, if the government wants to come on